You just gotta practice run.
There's no way that took 14 minutes.
Yeah.
I know.
Alright, wanna pause that one more time, and we'll do it one more time, 'cause I wanna
Yeah,
make
'cause
sure.
now
I-
Get past her, she's back.
Alright, well, hi, I'm Jade Milligan, and I'm here to talk about how to write with confidence and creativity, but more specifically in an academic setting. As students, there are plenty of papers and reports we are expected to write during our college careers. And to many, this can be an overwhelming and frightening idea. But collegiate writing doesn't need to be looked at like a chore or something to fear. And I'm here today to help with that as much as I can. Today, I will give you tips to help with writer's block, writing anxiety, and get you feeling confident about future writing assignments to come. As an English major and a published journalist, I will do my best to show you that papers are only as terrifying as you make them, and that there are plenty of ways of getting around your writing fears. Let's see. So my 3 points today first, I will be giving you all some tips on how to be more positive about your writing style. Next, I will highlight different professors' points of view on collegiate writing. And finally, I will give you tips on how to overcome your fears and tackle your writer's block. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. So the first order of business, it may be natural for most of you to fear writing, but as the esteemed author, Robert Cormier said, the beautiful part of writing is that you don't have to get it right the first time, unlike brain surgery. There isn't a writing soul alive that will tell you proofreading and editing your work is a bad idea. Quite the contrary, actually. It's encouraged you make mistakes the first time around so you can learn from them and better your practices for the future. Besides, it is claimed that some of the last times that writing was etched in stone was in 50 BC, and the art of writing has greatly evolved since then, so much so that the fear of making mistakes and writing something terrible has lessened. There have also been professors who give others great advice on academic writing, such as Daniel Sanford. He's the director of writing at Bates College and the academic source Commons, who said colleges are places where knowledge gets created. When you learn to write and think in that setting, you are figuring out how to participate in the creation of knowledge. It is wise to remember in those moments you feel confused or unsure that what you are working on is creating knowledge, both in yourself and your audience, and what could be wrong with that. Deborah J. Cohen, Associate Professor of Sociology at University of South Carolina, Beaufort, stated in 2017, I try to help students see that it is a process of writing born out of the clarity of silence, stillness, and solitude, and that they have to sit with the discomfort of writing and rewriting, of deleting and writing anew. The Wiseman professor has stated much of what I have been trying to say, that editing and rewriting are parts of the writing process, and that it is completely normal. There is comfort to me in knowing that the uneasy feeling is something that all college students have, and that is nothing to fear as well. Let's see. A great way to overcome the discomforts of writing is by finding inspiration. Everybody has their own ways of finding inspiration, but according to Smart Blogger, there are at least 99 different ways to do so, which I found at, go on there, there's a whole, I didn't put the thing on there, there's a whole, at smartblogger.com and how to get inspired to write, so you guys should check that out. But one way that I like to do, one of my ways to get over writer's block is people watching, in which I ended up writing that first, and then I got onto the 99 different ways for inspiration, and that was one of the things that they mentioned too, is going and watching people. And one thing that I like to do is I like to watch somebody at a restaurant or just out and about, and I like to make up stories about their life, even though I obviously have no idea what is going on. But it's a great way for me to find to kind of get over my writer's block and to kind of get into that creative viewpoint or state of mind is start making my own stories whenever I can. So oftentimes These stories do get out of hand. Sometimes they're simple, but every time I am exercising my brain's creativity and becoming more confident in finding ways to write. Another way to find great inspiration is not just to watch people, but also ask other people their opinions. My sister Bridget is my soundboard. Whenever I have a problem or I feel stuck in a way that I think she'd be helpful, or if I have like a plot hole that I think that she could help me work through, I call her and she and I walk through my problems together, and she writes too, so she actually does that with me as well. She calls me when she's having an issue with her writing, and we kind of just talk it out until we figure out a believable way of going forward in our stories. But this has served me well many times that so many times I can't even count. When it comes to Smart Blogger specifically, there was one idea that they had that I hadn't thought about. Some of them, they said that don't follow in the footsteps of great writers, meaning don't get caught up in trying to be like the writers of old. Be yourself and write the way you want to. They even mentioned something about the lines of using the John, and how the time spent on the porcelain throne could be a good break from the world beyond the door, and a good way to spend time inside the mind of number one while going number two. They say that it clears to clear the base chakra, also clears the mind chakra. So that was something I'd never even considered, so I thought that was interesting. And even if you think that your work is just another number two, the points I have previously mentioned in this speech are all good things for you to think about when you start telling yourself why your writing isn't good enough. Remember that writing self-esteem can be heightened by telling yourself that there is no need to panic, that your first draft is just that, a draft. It can be expanded upon and it can evolve. Next, I know that even professors are aware of our plights, but know that writing and rewriting is a part of the process, and that it is a great way to learn and to teach. And finally, that inspiration is a great and a positive way to find confidence and creativity, and that there is really no wrong way of going about it. But do keep in mind that it is not brain surgery. There is no right or wrong way, and do remember that you can always edit and alter your work however much you'd like. Words are no longer etched in stone.
Wonderful.